6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Lal Malavarachi and read by J. Yogaraj. First headlines. Debate on the National Council commences in Parliament today. The Parliament to reopen public gallery from today. Sri Lanka will make a presentation to its international creditors on Friday. The Foreign Ministry resumes attestation and verification process at the Consular Affairs Division. The Ministry of Agriculture expresses hope to recommence paddy purchasing from Thursday. Around 500,000 people have visited the Colombo International Book Fair so far. News overseas, the nation pays a final farewell to Queen Elizabeth II. In sports, the International Day of University Sports is celebrated in Colombo University today. And those are the headlines. Parliament is scheduled to meet from today to Friday, and questions for oral answers have been scheduled to be taken up from 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. except on Fridays. The resolution to continue the Parliament Committee designated National Council is scheduled to be debated today from 10:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., following which the approval of the Parliament is to be obtained. The National Council will consist of the Speaker as the Chair, Prime Minister, Leader of the House of Parliament, Leader of the Opposition in Parliament, Chief Government Whip, and not more than 35 Parliament members representing the 9th Parliament from recognised political parties in Sri Lanka as determined by the leaders of the political parties. Meanwhile, Sergeant-at-Arms Narendra Fernando says the restrictions imposed on the public to visit the Parliament have been relaxed and public gallery of the Parliament will be open to the public from today. As a preliminary step, it was agreed to allow parties who request to visit Parliament, including school children, on days when there are no parliamentary sittings, the Parliament Communication Department said. Accordingly, with effect from today, school children will be allowed to visit Parliamentary Complex on non-sitting days from 9:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Sri Lanka will make a presentation to its international creditors on Friday, laying out the full extent of its economic troubles and plans for a debt restructuring and multi-billion-dollar International Monetary Fund bailout. Years of economic mismanagement combined with the COVID-19 pandemic have left Sri Lanka in its worst economic crisis since independence, causing it to default on its sovereign debt. The Ministry of Finance says that via legal firm Clifford Chance, that an online call on September 23rd would be open to all its external creditors and be an interactive session in which participants can ask questions. This news comes to you from Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The computer system breakdown experienced in the attestation and verification unit of the Consular Affairs Division of the Foreign Affairs Ministry has been resolved, and the functionalities will resume from today. While issuing a notice, the Foreign Affairs Ministry informed the general public that attestation and verification services suspended in its regional offices in Jaffna, Tricamelic, Kandy, Kurunagala and Matara will resume from tomorrow. All other services of the Consular Division will also continue to be provided. The Foreign Ministry requests to contact the following regional officers to obtain more details. Consular Affairs Division, Colombo 1-0112-338-812 or 0112-338-843. Regional Office Jaffna 021-221-5970. Regional Office Trincomalee 026-2223-182. Regional Office Kandy 081-238-4410. Regional Office Kurunagala 037-2225-941. The Ministry of Agriculture expresses hope that they will be able to recommence paddy purchasing from Thursday. The ministry has ordered the state banks to release funds required to purchase paddy. Paddy purchasing has been temporarily halted due to a non-implementation of this order. The Director Board of the Bank of Ceylon is scheduled to meet on Thursday to discuss matters regarding the release of funds for the paddy purchasing. The Lotus Tower will be open to the public from today on weekdays from 12 noon to 10 p.m. and on weekends from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. By last Sunday, the income generated by public visits to the Lotus Tower was around 11.8 million rupees, and 25,270 people have visited the Lotus Tower so far. The Public Utilities Commission of Sri Lanka has approved a power cuts for 1 hour and 20 minutes for today and tomorrow. PUCSL chairman Janaka Ratnayaka said that the power cuts will be enforced between 6 to 10 p.m. today and tomorrow. Thereby, power cuts for 1 hour and 20 minutes will be enforced for groups A to L, P to V and W during this period. And that ends this local segment of news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Sri Lanka Book Publishers Association President Samantha Samarasinghe says that around 500,000 people have visited the Colombo International Book Fair 2022 so far. The book fair started on the last 16th at the Bandaranaike International Conference Hall premises in Colombo and will continue until September 25th from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. He said that the book exhibition being held these days is very successful and there are about 400 stalls in the exhibition ground for people to buy books. And that was top news.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Moving on to Watchlight, the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization in Sri Lanka and Maldives representative Vimalendra Sharan says they will provide a subsidy to farmers during the Maha season. The United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization signed a memorandum of understanding with the Agriculture Minister regarding the provision of essential fertilizers for paddy cultivation. And that was Watchlight. And moving on to world news headlines, the United Kingdom pays final farewell to Queen Elizabeth II. COVID-19 pandemic is over in the US. Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan border clashes claim nearly 100 lives. And those are the headlines of the world news. The nation has paid a final farewell to Queen Elizabeth II, which a state funeral and military procession. World leaders and foreign royalty joined King Charles III and royal family in the congregation at Westminster Abbey. Hundreds of thousands of people lined the streets as the coffin was taken to Windsor, where she was laid to rest. At the final, the Dean of the Westminster paid tribute to the Queen's lifelong sense of duty. King Charles III walked alongside his siblings, Princess Anne and Princes Andrew and Edward. The Prince of Wales and the Duke of Sussex walked side by side behind their father along a route lined by representatives of all parts of the military. President Joe Biden has declared the pandemic over in US, even as the number of Americans who have died from COVID continues to rise. Mr. Biden says that while we still have a problem, the situation is rapidly improving. Statistics show that over 400 Americans on average are dying from the virus each day. The head of the World Health Organization, WHO, says last week that the end of pandemic is in sight. At least 94 people have been killed and more than 100 injured in clashes on the disputed Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan border, the deadliest in years. Fighting between the two Central Asian states broke out on Wednesday before a ceasefire was agreed on Friday. Kyrgyzstan President Sadir Japarov says shooting has stopped, but the provocative statements continue on the internet. And that was world news. And moving on to development news, Minister of Urban Development and Housing Prasanna Ranatunga says that efforts will be made to get the necessary financial allocations from this year's budget to restart the Basnagoda water supply project, which was stopped due to the economic crisis faced by the country. The construction of this water project was started in April last year with the aim of meeting the drinking water needs of over 200,000 people in Gampaha district. The minister also mentioned that the government has focused on resuming other development projects that were stopped due to the economic crisis faced by the country in the past. And that was development news.
Sports News is brought to you by...
With many values that bind us beyond the transaction, we are Sampath Bank. We present your future.
International Day of University Sport falls today. This is an annual tradition since 2016. The 20th September is the International Day of University Sport, officially proclaimed by the United Nations. UNESCO has organized this event to promote university sports around the world. This celebration helps create links between universities and their local communities with sport, physical activity and healthy living playing and the leading role. IDUS is a platform to exchange ideas, best practices, challenges and opportunities within and through university sports worldwide. In Sri Lanka, the International Day of University Sports will be held in the Colombo University premises today. Over 300 sportsmen and women representing all state universities in the country will take part in this event. And that was sports news.
The fastest way to earn the highest interest from NSB, now extended till the 30th of September just for you. Your short-term deposits receive an attractive interest rate of 20% in 3 months and 22% in 7 months. Visit a bank branch or a main postal office today. NSB, the only bank with 100% government guarantee.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
According to the Joint Apparel Association Forum, the apparel export income had reached $522.14 million as of July this year. In July last year, the income was $425.75 million, and in comparison with that, the garment export income has achieved a growth of 22.4%. And that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by
the fastest way to earn the highest interest from NSB, now extended till the 30th of September just for you. Your short-term deposits receive an attractive interest rate of 20% in 3 months and 22% in 7 months. Visit a bank branch or a main postal office today. NSB, the only bank with 100% government guarantee.
Economic news, courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Sri Lanka's tax revenues have surged 25% to 798.5 billion rupees up to June 2022 amid high inflation, and non-tax revenues also brought in $119 billion, up 63% from a year ago, official data shows. Sri Lanka's economy is expected to inflate to around 23.8 trillion rupees in 2022 from 16.8 trillion in 2021 as the currency depreciated and the prices soared in an inflationary blow-off, which is technically known as high inflation financial regression. And that was economic news.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Finally, in the weather report, the Met Department says that a few showers will occur in western and sub-Ragama provinces and in Galle and Mathura districts. Showers or thundershowers will occur at few places in Uva and eastern provinces and in Mullaitivu district during the evening or night. And that was weather report. And to wind up this news broadcast, let's look at the main points once again. Debate on National Council commences in Parliament today. The Parliament to reopen public gallery from today. Sri Lanka will make a presentation to its international creditors on Friday. The Foreign Ministry resumes attestation and verification process at the Consular Affairs Division. The Ministry of Agriculture expresses hope to recommence paddy purchasing from Thursday. Around 500,000 people have visited the Colombo International Book Fair so far. And with that, we conclude this morning news broadcast of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.